Lifestyle, eh? Isn't this what it's all about? I mean, think about it. Even brands are changing tack these days. They're now trying to appeal to all of our senses, trying to get us as consumers, I guess, to connect those little emotive dots that will associate their brand with the ultimate lifestyle that we want. I guess if you look at BMW, for example, gas guzzling, ozone burning yobber rushing up the back of your butt on the highway, flashing his lights for you to move over, is probably how most of us would associate sheer driving pleasure. But that has all changed now, because now there's Joy, where you happily want to hug your mate as you sit in traffic jams on the roads in South Africa. This is Joy, the new 5 Series BMW GT. And I've got to tell you, I do not really want to take Joy for a ride if it's based purely on looks. I hope she's got a whole lot of personality.
Much has been said about the styling of the Gran Turismo. In fact, our friends at Auto Mundial referred to that rear end in the same sentence as the word dustbin. Well, judge for yourselves. The butt is muscular and wide, and the L-shaped light clusters now include LED technology. At the front, the big air intakes and kidney grille tell you exactly what you're looking at. The LEDs also make an appearance in the daytime driving lights. Side on, that coupe-like roofline can be deceiving in pictures. It's still a big car, no doubt about it. So, if it's all about lifestyle, then where exactly does the GT fit in BMW's extensive and expensive range? They've got the sedans, the wagons, the hatches, the bruising SUVs, the baby SUVs, and the recently launched limo. There's the ultra-sporty to the ultra-spacious and the ultra-luxurious. This, I guess, aims to be all of those rolled into one.
I guess sheer driving pleasure will always be something you will associate with a BMW though. That feeling when you get into the luxurious cabin, the space, but it's also the commanding driving position. One thing that makes the GT so impressive really is that it has married up that mix with the sedan, but you find yourself in quite a raised driving position, so it's quite a commanding position on the road. And if you want to be comfortable and cruising, you just set the adaptive dynamic drive into comfort, and it's a beautiful cruising GT experience. But trust me, put it into your sport mode and sport plus mode, and this car is just begging to be driven, and it responds to you in such a perfect way. The way they've got the adapters set up on the suspension gives you a really involved and active drive. If you didn't have that, it wouldn't be a BMW, would it? We in the 530 diesel, and I'm blown away by the performance of this motor. A straight 6, 180 kilowatts, plenty of torque, 540 newton meters of torque. It really is an absolute pleasure to drive. For the first time ever now in the 530 diesels, they've gone and put in the 8-speed transmission. And it really is super responsive, whether you're driving in manual mode or not. The changes are smooth, but the power delivery is absolutely incredible. There is, of course, the 535 version in the GT, as well as the 550. Now, the 3.5, and everybody's raved about that motor with a twin turbo pushing out unbelievable kilowatts and torque. They're telling us now for the first time they're actually getting the same performance, but out of a single turbo in the 535. And then there's the 550, which is just absolutely crazy. It's pushing out 300 kilowatts and about 600 newton meters of torque. It is an absolute beast. But this for us is what a cruiser should be about. Fuel economy and a good driving experience. So for us in this, we were sitting on an average of about 7.5 liters per 100, which is amazing. Sheer driving pleasure. So the whole sales pitch now is about having the prestige of a saloon, the comforts of a GT, mixed with a sports utility or activity vehicle. That is how they've called the new 5 Series GT. But for me, if I look at Joy, she is a big girl. This new 5 Series is built on the same platform as the 7 Series, and you can see sitting in the back here, in my full driving position, there is plenty of legroom and a lot of headroom. So you're getting the legroom of a 7 Series with the headroom of an X5. Looking at it, I know I said I don't like the looks, but for me it almost looks like a toned down X6. And maybe that's where the whole process started.
Of course, the new Beamer comes with all the extras you could possibly think of, some standard, some optional. The new iDrive system was really easy to use, and we really liked the new 10.2-inch screen, which can be split into two when performing tricky maneuvers, although the surround cameras we had were optional, as was the panorama glass roof. But it's in the space department that the GT really shines. The two-piece tailgate is obviously a really cool feature in Europe, as it's insulated from the cabin, which is not only great for acoustics but also keeps the climate regulated inside, regardless of the fruitling going on in the boot. And what a big booty it is! Big to start with, but with rear seats and backrests that move and all the seats down, you get a whopping 1,700 litres of space.
Trust me, you will hear from BMW a lot that they're telling you they've defined a brand new segment. We do hear this a lot on Ignition GT. Have they really? I don't think so, because there's the Porsche Panamera and there's the Audi A5 Sportback, which are both very similar in idea and concept. But let me tell you, Joy is a big girl. If Joy asks you, does my bum look big in this? You better be a good liar.
Keep your game face on for the price. The 5 GT ranges from 733,000 Rand to just under $1 million for the 550. But you are getting a great car for your money. We loved the dynamic drive you get in a car of this size, even though it still manages to be a true GT drive in its smoothness. Cabin acoustics are great, even though Joy drives with her 19-inch boots on. There really is very little road or wind noise for that matter. Which is good, because the only sound you really want to hear in this car is the sound of that straight 6 on the open road.